We are operating on a frequency of 52 megacycles by authority of the Federal Communications Commission. A test program follows. To you who are trained technically, I need hardly say that there's still a number of problems to solve. I guess you know them as well as anybody knows them. But I think we've proceeded far enough to justify the statement, at least, that these technical problems are not insurmountable.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the last KOTE draw for KOTE6. Now, obviously, this is another draw, but we're here to come and talk to you about everything going on. And my audio is working today. So, it's been nearly a year, and I've now started to learn how to use this sorting tool. Hi to everyone watching the stream. Who else on the stream just watched those three matches, the final from the KOTE6? This was between the French Keys and the Hamburg Atlanteans 1. We've just commentated over the three games, and it was at a knife edge. There were three amazing games. They're probably the best three games we've seen this season in KOTE. And it was so great we got them on stream. We got a couple of them interviewing them before their matches as well, so we get to understand their decks and how they think. And wow, what they played, what they had was amazing. Please, guys, go back, watch the YouTube. It should be on YouTube the next couple of days. Just some of the best online games I have seen, and wow. So, how has everyone been? How's your week been? Right, so it is sad to say that not only is this the last KOTE6 live draw, this is the last KOTE live draw set show, as it were, on a Monday. From next week, Brett's going to come on board and we're going to do what we are dubbing the KOTE show. Or I am dubbing the KOTE show. Some of you will call it the KOTE show. And we want to take everything we've done here around KOTE. We want to take the commentary we've done. We want to bring in some Keyforge news and other things and bring in a much more of a magazine type system. So we're going to have, every week we will be commentating for half an hour of the show. We'll be spending 5-10 minutes going through metrics of KOTE. We'll be talking about new cards and news, if there's any news that's been released. We will have a guest section that we may bring in other people for. And when we can get it back out face to face, we will start doing videos of events that we go to, and you can submit your own events as well for 10-15 minutes. The fantastic KOTE Hour Special, as is the working title from Brett. No, it's too long. The KOTE Show it is for now. But guys, come on. I'm expecting the similar audience to we have now, but its only difference is it's going to start at 9 PM GMT on Tuesdays. Why Tuesdays? I'm sure you're asking. Well, because it's the only day we see no large-scale online tournament running. And Mondays, though we could claim we were here first for Mondays, or amongst the first here on a Monday, Mondays actually clashes with the local Keyforge event I have that I want to try get into, and so does Brett. And so we are going to move it to the Tuesdays, so that once lockdown is over here in the UK and the stores are reopening, we can go and support our local store and play in some games. Then Tuesday will come under, and this means each round will now start Tuesday night and be completed by Tuesday lunchtime. We're not going to move it any further out, but the joy of this is Mondays now become the rollover day for anyone who hasn't played. And this starts from the beginning of KOTE7 next week. And KOTE7, you can still register. I'm expecting to see the majority of teams register on Sunday as ever, but registration closes on Monday. I would say Monday midday, but really it's the end of Monday. Register in, get your team in, and then Tuesday we will spend grouping the teams out into geographical locations, separate them up as best we can, and then we'll do the first draw on the first KOTE show to show you how it's all going to go and introduce all the teams and everyone. And the first KOTE show will probably be an hour and a half. Well, the first show instead of the usual hour. Brett is once again talking to himself in the chat. Some shout outs this week. Firstly, shout out to London Urchins. I always shout out to London Urchins because Adam will always ask me. I want to once again repeat my apology to Slogans for not being allowing him to attend our quiz because it was the one day of the week he couldn't do. So last Tuesday we ran the KOTE quiz, or the KOTE quiz 2, and we had a winner. Our winner was Not Tonight from Poland. So well done. You've won yourself a Worlds Collide deck, which will be posted to you as soon as I get to a post office. Keyforce Granada. It'll be better than last time, I promise. And second place was Iron Bama from Manchester. So the Manchester lads are keeping at least the second place title, if not the championship. And Not Tonight will have her own special award on the new Coat directory that will be launching next week, so that she won the quiz. Next, we want to shout out to Jupiter from the KPL podcast. Jupiter called me and Brad aside on Wednesday last week to interview us both together. Naturally, yours truly screwed up the time zones and everything else, and so Brett did his, then I did mine afterwards, and I just like talking, so this is always a problem when you're being interviewed. So guys, listen to it. We will put a link in the chat. Otherwise, it is on the Discord community. But take it, and it has some things about the future of KOTE, the past of KOTE, Brad and me working together, and the great team we have here. So I'll put that into the chat now, just for everyone. Next of all, we would like to congratulate the KIP team who won the KPL 4 Mass Mutation Madness. I wasn't able to attend, and for a variety of family reasons. It's a family night during lockdown and Saturdays for me, but apparently it was 80 or 90 people playing in the tournament. Karen spent an hour telling me how amazing it was today, and so I assume it was amazing because she went 2-2. But well done to everyone who played, well done to KIP for coming out on top, and I hope you all had fun. And my final shout out to do is to Keyforce Granada for making me laugh this morning. Every Monday morning, I sit down and I go through and I look at who submitted who submitted results, just to try to keep on top of it. It's very important on a Monday, Saturday, and Sunday. I try to when I get out of bed, I have my morning cup of tea, just in case you're wondering. This morning, I saw the lyrics to "We Are the Champions" by a team who won the second cut. And Keyforce Granada, Jose, even especially, thank you guys for making me laugh. Just go up to, what the hell is a comment needing to be that long for? And they put the entire words that "We Are the Champions" into the comment section. So thank you guys. That definitely made me smile this morning. Right. Moving on. So as I've said, KOTE6 begins next week. Registration is open. We've got the event is definitely running now. We have prizes provided by Board Games Extras. They are providing a brick, so that's 9 decks will go to the champion team, 3 decks to second place as we did previously. They'll be posted out, not via me after screw-ups that happened last time, which were all my fault. But this time they'll be posted out by the store directly to the winners. Thank you to Andy from Board Game Extras for arranging that for us. He's grateful for us promoting him, and we're grateful for the prizes he gives us. Hopefully it's balancing out. But KOTE7 is looking good. We seem to have lots of teams are coming back because of the group stages, and the group stages and multi-seeded cuts seem to work quite well. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how the teams come in, how the teams play, what comes together, and most of all, what are the decks people bring and what style are they coming with? That's the important thing here. A few new teams as well. Yes, I'm hoping for a few new teams. I know we'll lose a couple as well. But I need to start messaging Team Exalted to make sure we have someone for me to cheer for as we come. Well, we got top 16, I think, this time. So, also because of popular demand, I've spent some 5 minutes looking at some of the cards and the decks that will come in. Now, we will do more of this for KOTE7, but for the few minutes and to answer the questions, and hopefully there are people in the chat who want to answer this that isn't just Brett. I have the most common cards in KOTE6 here. So I have the 10 most common cards. Does anyone want to take a guess on what the most common card was in KOTE6? Put it in the chat. Yeah, Brett, you know the answer to this one. The love was not the most common card, Keyfrogs, but that's a good guess. Okay, well I'm going to start with the top 10, and hopefully I will have some guesses for it. The 10th card at 46 copies across all 283 decks was Not Finished With You. The 9th most common card was Mark of Dis with 48 copies. There are 53 copies of Cutthroat Research, 58 copies of Igor, 59 copies of Wild Wormhole, 61 copies of Daughter, making Daughter number 5, 66 copies of Edai. Tommy says you're quiet. Am I quiet? Okay. I'll put the volume up. Right. So, 66 copies of Edai. And then, this is Julian's guess, 74 copies of Infernus. That was 3rd. 5 of those were rebouts. Yeah. 5 of the Edais were rebouts in one deck. They probably had like 15 between them. Second most common card at 79 is Ronnie Wristlocks. Second was 79 was Ronnie Wristlocks. And the most common card, which surprised me because I thought it was going to be Infernus as well, with 86, was Exhume. And this means that Exhume averaged more than 1 per team. Okay, yes, most people were in multiple Exhumes, not 1. But Exhume was the most common card. So, with that information on to hand, I'm pretty sure you could all work out which is the most popular house. But to go through anyway, Brogna, there's 25 teams that ran 25 Brogna decks, 25 Mars decks. So, not many. 52 Sanctum, 57 Star Alliance, 76 Saurian, 92 Untamed, 103 Shadows, 137 Logos, and 147 Dis. Now, this was not a surprise to me because I already worked out the common cards. Logos was second for 137. Dis is definitely Breck's favourite house. I mean, I'm more of an Untamed than Logos fan, but Dis is the best, is the most common house we saw. Of 147 decks out of realistically, I'm trying to remember how many decks we had, 250 odd. I can't even remember, 250 odd decks. That's pretty impressive to see. The average SAS was 76. The highest SAS was 90. The lowest SAS was 60 from the data set I had. It didn't quite have all the decks in, but had the majority. The most common value, though, was 78. So though if you add all the numbers up, divided by the total number, you get 76. The 78 SAS there was more 78 SAS decks than any other deck number. I didn't check to see whose deck was 95 or what the final lists were. Just did not have time. But it's interesting to see that 60 is still getting in, and 78 is not a massively high number. It's quite a nice. I've got a few 78 decks. I only have one 80 deck. Nothing higher than that. So 78 is sort of, I like things in the reach for most mere mortals like myself. So let's quickly now go through the results. So the winner of KOTE6, I'm proud to announce, is the Hamburg Atlanteans 1, who won 2-1 over the French Keys. And as I said before, some of the best games I have seen online or in person. And please go and watch the repeats on YouTube once they're out. I'd love to see other people's opinions. Now, of course, naturally, because that's the final, I wasn't allowed to know the result before I saw them, so it's not updated here. But the Hamburg Atlanteans ones came through to go for the top 16 to control the league. No kind of action Austria won. Team Hong Kong Mavericks, the only 2-time champions we have, and then beat the French Keys. And the French Keys went through to go and beat Gaming Gear Birmingham from the US, and then Hamburg Atlanteans 2. So they definitely had their eyes set on both Hamburg Atlanteans teams. Then Ganymede Archivists from Canada and Hong Kong, and then finally go to Hamburg to come into final. So the 2 finalists were both European here, and of the top 4, there were 6 European players, 4 Hong Kong players, and 2 Canadians. So you can definitely see where the strength seems to come on. I expect to see more from the Hong Kong guys coming up in KOTE7. I mean, they've got their teams are already starting to go in, guys. So let's see. The Asia Pacific Cup will be the Asia Pacific group will be very interesting next time. In the second cut is No Kind of Fancy Austria 2 were beaten by Keyforge Granada. Well done, Jose. And number 1 UK player in the Asian group, but there won't be this time. So the Keyforge Granada came along to beat Team Exalted Balding Edition, knocking us out. We'll be having words with him about that in the future. Then they beat Bootcamp X in Germany, a great team. Then they beat Sloppy Labwick USA. Again, another great team who won KOTE 5. And then No Canifats in Austria 2 walked over them 2-0. The third game wasn't played. Whereas No Canifats in Austria 2, they got through the first one because of a drop. And then they beat L'Espoirs from France. And then they beat Starship Looters from France. And then they lost to Kifos Granada from Spain. So again, top 4 was 1, 2, 3 European teams and 1 US teams, with 2 European teams in the final. Now we come on to something a little bit different. We have a US team in the final. So ABR Smoky Bears were beaten by Soul Snatchers in the grouping final. Soul Snatchers are based in Greece. Thank you to their team member PV, who helped me do some of the front end work for the new KOTE directory. Really appreciate his time. Soul Snatchers came in through beat Grand Earth Alliance 2-0, then beat Brain Games RV 2-1, then beat Suki Noodles 3-0, and then beat ABR Smoky Bears. SES deleted their top 8 loss. Maybe. And then ABR went... Yeah, I don't know why that's not rendering there, but we'll worry about that later. ABR beat London Urchins, Dark Urchins, by coin flip, I believe, at the end. And then ABR Smoky Bears beat GFC 03 because they dropped. Then Screech Bobom. Is that right? Bobom? ABR lost to ABR Smoky Bears. That was a 2-1. I'm not sure why that's not coming through. And then finally, ABR Smoky Bears lost to Soul Snatchers. And then we come to the 4th cup. We have our first Asia Pacific finalist, Skippy Time Ruse from Australia, guys. Well done. You may be in Cup 4, but you guys loved every minute of this. I loved talking to you. I loved apologising for people being crap and trying to arrange to play with an Australian team. I hope we got that better towards the end. But well done, Skippy Time Ruse. I'm hoping to see you guys back in the future with a few more teams from Australia. We only have 2, but both teams are a lot of fun. So Skippy Time Ruse beat Team Wormhole because they dropped. And then they beat Monkeys from France. Then they beat Furry Muscles from Italy. And then they beat London Urchins from the UK. So they had a 12-hour time difference for most of their games. London Urchins Imperial Traitors. This is Slogan's team. They won 3-0 versus the other Team Wormhole who dropped. Then London Urchins Imperial Traitors beat Bootcamp X Team 2. And then they beat Baywitch. And then they lost to Skippy Time Ruse in the final. But some great teams here, though both of them are surprising to see them so far down. KOTE7 belongs to the French. Ooh, fighting talk. I think the French are particularly excited by me declaring that they will not all be in the same group next time. They will have an opportunity to play people from other countries in their group stage, though it still all be European. And we look forward to it. And finally, we have a disappointing 5th cup. So I'm not sure why this hasn't updated, but the final Swindle... I haven't updated this one because it has the final. The final Swindle Omega still need to play Manchester Mavericks C. I've chased them up today. I would normally disqualify them at this point, but it's going to have 0 impact in the future, so I'm hoping they'll get the game in this week. Again, both 2 good teams. Both teams are busy. I know the final Swindle Omega have struggled because I think every game they've had has been across the Atlantic. They're one of the, I think, only 2 or 3 teams that made... Two American teams to make a final and 3 American teams to make top 4. But guys, well done. Well done to everybody. Well done to Hamburg Lances One primarily for winning overall. We'll get Carl in touch with you to talk about prizes. I believe there was prizes from Carl. But guys, well done. And that brings me back to all I wanted to cover today, which is the key things, the results. My last question I have is, who else is excited for KOTE7, this format we have? I am. I'm not playing in it, and I'm excited to it. I'm excited for the new KOTE show. I like the way we're going, and I love the feedback we're getting everyone. Thank you so much for the positive praise we've had in the last week. We've had so much. We really, really appreciate it. We cannot overstate how much we like just getting the cheers for running this. It's been a great tournament, or we know you put a lot of work in. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you as ever to Brett for getting on top of the editing and doing all the hard legwork behind the scenes. And I'd love to get you more in front of the camera, which I know you're nervous about, but you'll be fine, man. And thank you to all the other mods who I think we've just, as usual, just before any event, been arguing over rules. Every day there's another rule to debate, and I think we're pretty good on top of it now. So, as we close off, this is the last stream on a Monday. From next week, the stream will be 9 p.m. GMT Tuesday till realistically 10 or 11 p.m. We may be at 10 p.m. in a future week, but it'll be 9 p.m. GMT. Come along with your questions. Come on and watch. If we can do things better, other than learn how to use the sodding OBS software, which I should be able to do by now, let me know. But the most importantly, come, have fun. Let us all share this enjoyment that is Keyforge. Stay safe, everyone, and we will be back in touch in 8 days. Have a great week, and we look forward to KOTE6 coming in.